the story that we're telling in this movie, I think, is the importance of having conflict and disagreement and playing different roles in your relationships and in society, where there's sort of an attitude of we need both. Well, as an actor, in a lot of ways, the most exciting moments are the moments when you get a part, because it is a definitive moment. It's a phone call or or an email or whatever, where you go from being unemployed to knowing that you're going to have a job. So it's very distinct and usually joyous. But with this, the phone call from James, although it was joyous and I was extremely excited. The first feeling that I had, or maybe the second feeling that I had after a little bit of relief that I knew I had a job, was the sense of responsibility to now, earn this opportunity that I'd gotten, and so that's been the last 2 years since we got these parts.
It's been 2 years.
Yep, 2 years, almost to the day. So which is great because if you feel the sense of responsibility as opposed to the sense of accomplishment is in the past, and it will always be in the past. Responsibility is all about the present and the future. So responsibility keeps you grounded in the present and looking towards the future and working hard and trying to do your best.
I think she's shut out all of that noise. It's one of the things I love the most about her. I think she thinks there are always stories to tell, and she's going to be the first person to tell them. And James and I talked a fair amount about this, I don't know that in previous versions it always felt so radical that she was a print journalist. But in this world, we talked a lot about what would it mean to be a print journalist? What would the pressures, the unique pressures that she's facing today look like? And I think it just makes her work harder and smarter to make sure that the stories that she's telling are good enough, that they reach a big enough audience so that she can make that kind of impact. But she's also fiercely competitive. She's not going down without a fight.
Yeah, I mean the relevance, I think, of Superman and Lois, the story that we're telling in this movie, I think, is the importance of having conflict and disagreement and playing different roles in your relationships and in society, where there's sort of an attitude of we need both. I said that we've talked about how Lois sort of looks ahead and second guesses and is a little skeptical and cynical and looks for ulterior motives. And Superman tries to see the good in everything and wants to believe that people are the best versions of themselves and are all trying to be the best versions of themselves, and wants to take action now, the action that's necessary now. And we fight about that because those two principles are at odds in certain situations. And in some ways, Lex is the villain that he has become because he has decided that he knows. He knows what the answer is. He knows what's right. He knows what costs are worth incurring for the progress and the achievements that he's after. Whereas Lois and Superman, as certain as they are about their positions, they're also certain that they each need the other's perspective and need the force of the other to have the complete picture.
It's also, Superman feels like a story that's endured not only because it's a shot in the arm of hope and because it encourages not just, obviously superheroes, in some ways they do walk among us, but they also look like you and me. It encourages us to find that strength, that compassion, the courage to do the right thing and to do the next right thing and the next right thing. But also, I feel like Superman's endured because fundamentally it asks what it means to be human. What does it mean to be human? And what does it mean to be human together? And I feel like asking that question in this moment, we're not just in the US where we live, but all over the world, we're bumping up against sort of some of the fraying edges of humanity, that question and asking ourselves that question and asking that question of each other feels more important than ever.